All right, hey suspects, welcome back to This Is Sus podcast, where we dive into the suspicious stories from near and far.
Nearish.
Near-ish and far-ish. Well, buckle up, these ones are a trip.
Icebreakers.
We gotta do icebreakers.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we haven't introduced ourselves.
Oh, I'm April,
I'm Lori.
And I'm Nicole.
but you know that already, right? If you don't, now you do.
April,
Yeah.
if you were a ghost, how would you haunt people?
Oh. Okay, I know Lori answered this one another week ago. And honestly, because I troll in real life, I would also do the same thing, but you weren't too nice in your trolling.
You were so excited. You were like, when I think of haunting, I think of something sinister, and you're like, ooh, I'd move things.
You're like, I'll put their keys in the fridge. If you want to see all of her answers, go back a few videos and you'll see. So let's say I'm dead and Nicole is alive. I would
definitely haunt me
definitely
just for the
haunt
sheer
you,
humor of it.
But I would also, if somebody was being mean to you, I would just put stuff in the way to make them look a fool. Like they would trip and fall, or they would stub their toe. Yeah. Oh, what are the worst things? Like always a warm toilet seat. And like you don't know what it is. Why is it warm? Warm side of the pillow all the time. Like you always flip it. Just, stuff like that. Ooh, no toilet paper. You know how people say ghosts can make you feel the chills? Yeah. Let's say on a really cold day, they really want to warm up. You can tell they're chilly. I'll just hover around them all day. So they're all chilly and they can't get it.
Oh, I want you to haunt me and be my personal air conditioner.
Of course I would.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
I would be helpful to you. I already know your life is hard enough. Instead of moving your keys away, I would put them where you could see them, and then you'd probably still miss. I would haunt you in a good way, and I'd haunt others in a bad way for not being nice to you.
So now you know, be nice to me, because
anybody
you're gonna have to contend with April.
Because I feel like ghosts don't know, like they don't have time restraints. So I could be in many places all at the same time in my mind. So I could be around everyone, and. On times, obviously, I would be trolling you as well. You're mine to troll, not others.
Right.
I get to troll you and get the glee out of doing that, not other
That's
people.
True. Yeah. I would not want to deprive you of your glee.
Exactly. So that's my answer.
Awesome. My face actually hurts from smiling so hard.
I love it. So good. That's so good.
So who's next?
Lori, how many countries have you visited outside of your own?
22. I don't think that's right.
No, but that's my favorite number.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
She has not visited 22, but she would like to.
They're having a moment now.
And no more than 22.
No, 22 is enough.
Sorry, babe, we're done traveling.
Yeah,
I've seen it all.
22.
I've seen my 22.
Okay, so countries, I think really only 3, but I've visited them many, many times.
Oh, really?
I've been to Mexico now 8 times, but different areas of Mexico. And America, like the United States, I've been there many times. Gosh. And then I've been like all across Canada. That's it. I guess I've kind of stayed on the continent, if you will.
Yeah.
Like I've never been to Jamaica. I'd love to go to Jamaica. I'd love to go to
Turks and Caicos.
Is that where the Maldives are? Is that the same thing?
Don't know. I have no idea. I'm bad at geography.
I really want to go to the Maldives. I think it's called Maldives.
Maldives.
Yeah.
Because they have those huts that are like right on top of the water.
I've definitely been to a divey mall.
What? Same. But yeah, I think that's it. Nothing too crazy, although crazy things happen in these few countries I've been to. Also, when you go on a trip with like just one of your girlfriends,
oh my gosh,
wild things happen.
Now it's my turn.
Yes.
I ask Nicole.
Yes.
If you could be any inanimate object for a day, what would you be and why?
Inanimate object.
Yes.
For a day. I mean, that's a weird question. Okay, I want to be something relaxing, but I want to be able to relax, not be relaxed on. So that takes out like beds and easy chairs.
You do like hugs.
A lamp. I'd like to be a lamp. I'll just hang out all day.
Okay.
And people could turn you on and off.
Oh, that's true.
I think it's really funny that you want to be a lamp because they're like your mortal enemies.
That's
'Cause she wants to be in control of her electricity.
I want to be a hanging lamp from the ceiling. I just chill.
Yeah. Suspended.
A glittery one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll never look at a hanging lamp the same.
I'll be like, that could be Nicole in another life.
Do you remember those people we watched on that video who truly believed she was
She was a couch or something?
She would like sit there like this and she's like, I'm a couch.
The partner was fully on board, supportive, and pretended
Yeah.
that she was a couch. Or
It
a
was
chair.
just
yeah.
So like
Crazy.
You sit on her?
Sit on her, that's a couch, that's a chair. Sometimes they were a table.
She'd spend hours in this position.
And then she would just walk around like she was a piece of furniture. It was on the BBC.
I thought it was a troll video, but no.
No, it was
No,
real.
it was real.
It was real.
Humans are fascinating.
Yeah, the brain is weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. Anyway, I am storyteller number 1, and I have a glitch in the Matrix story. Okay. I experienced a glitch in the Matrix a few years ago, and here's my story. That's what OP says. This is on literally the Reddit board glitch in the Matrix. I was driving down a road in the evening, and the sun had mostly set, but it wasn't completely dark yet. Behind me, there was a very distinct Jeep, green, with a unique paint job, with green LED lights. We were on a rural highway. There was no turnoffs during this stretch of road, and the car had been behind me for several minutes. On the radio, it was some Blink 182 song. I was in a cover band at the time, and this is one of the songs that we had in our set list. I was driving back from a practice, and I was trying to work through something in that song, so I knew it pretty immediately. And here's where I noticed the glitch. I experienced this sensation twice in my life, and this is one of them. The best I can describe it is if someone hypothetically grabbed the bottom of your spine, cracks it like a whip, and the sensation travels up your spine to culminates in a pop right in the base of the skull, top of the spine. After the pop, in my ears were ringing faintly, and I could hear other noises for a solid 30 seconds. The pop occurred during the instrumental breakdown of the song. After the pop, I noticed an extra measure in the instrumental breakdown. I don't know exactly what that means.
So basically there's a few extra bars of music.
Oh, okay. Like
4 beats.
he actually says an extra 4 beats.
It's like a song you know off by heart, and then all of a sudden there's this extra piece in it.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
This was a song we had rehearsed hundreds of times. There was no way I was simply counting the beat wrong because I knew the song really well. I looked up in my rearview mirror, and the Jeep was no longer behind me. This is a rural highway, nowhere where they could have turned off. Weird, I thought. And maybe they just pulled over and I didn't notice. Well, not 15 seconds later, I noticed oncoming headlights coming up around the bend in the road. And wouldn't you know it, a green LED Jeep with headlights.
What?
The car passes, and sure enough, yeah, it is that Jeep, and it has that very distinct paint job.
Right.
There's no way that the car could have gone from behind me into the oncoming lane in that span of time from around the corner. Anyway, I did not really know what to make of it at the time.
That is so interesting.
Ooh, I love stories like this.
So, to run it down, basically he's driving, a song he knows is on. He suddenly, he looks in his rearview mirror. Okay, there's a Jeep there. It has green headlights, and it's got an interesting paint job. Then suddenly he hears this pop, extra 4 beats of the song that he's really used to, and the Jeep isn't there. He's like, what? Where did it go? And then the Jeep comes around the corner in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's more of like a timeline shift
or something.
Have you heard of a timeline shift before?
No, but I guess I kind of get the gist.
So a lot of people say that there's a lot of different timelines happening at the same time.
A lot of people think that they're just right on top of one another.
Yeah.
You can sometimes go from this one to that one. If you.
I guess I thought that's what a glitch in the Matrix is.
Everybody's kind of living in their own matrix. You know?
Yes.
I think that sometimes really weird things can happen. They say that you vibrate at a certain level, and sometimes you can vibrate higher, and then your life can sort of change. And I wonder if that 4 extra beats was actually like the song. He's listening to it in a different timeline.
Yeah,
like maybe he timeline shifted in that moment. I don't know. That's so weird. I want to know what you think of this, Nicole.
So if I were with him, I would ask 2 questions. 1, does that song always have that extra 4 beats? Or was it like he skipped back in time and there was an extra 4 beats in the song kind of thing? And 2, has he ever driven over there again? Like personally me, I'd be driving back and forth over that space just to see what goes on. That's totally what I'm thinking and what I want to know. The whole feeling like up his back and stuff is really weird. Mm-hmm. So, and into his spine and his neck is really weird. So I'm either going with glitch in the matrix or some sort of minor brain aneurysm where things just really shifted in his brain for a second there.
What do you think, April?
I don't know. I think definitely there are times when you feel like you have deja vu or like, how would he know about the Jeep and the color of it and everything that is coming around the corner, and that's the Jeep that was behind him? That would just be like, what? So I don't know. I believe some of these glitch in the matrix stories. I don't believe somebody just makes this up. It's just super weird.
I agree. I think there's just a lot of unexplained things out there. Like I don't necessarily believe in a multiverse. Yeah. Only because it was kind of invented by comics and science just sort of is like, it doesn't really work out mathematically or with physics. But there's just so much, like there's clearly a spiritual realm, other realms that we don't necessarily see. And so weird things happen. Like, why did this happen? What happened? Yeah. It is really interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm so curious. Like sometimes I wish I could talk to people in person and be like, tell me about this experience. I know you described it here, but like the next time you heard that song, were those extra 4 beats there? Are they always there for you now? Did you talk to your bandmates? Like I want to hear what they think, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that would just be such a cool conversation.
I don't know what you mean by the quantum realm. Sorry, what do you mean by that?
The whole layered multiverses about you make a choice and it makes a new multiverse type thing. Like literally we make all sorts of choices in a second. So the millions and billions and bazillions of multiverses, scientifically, I just don't think that's a real thing.
I think they have been able to prove something about the quantum realm. I don't exactly know exactly what. We'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
But like through mathematical equations, they can mathematically prove the quantum realm, apparently.
I sort of disagree. I think maybe we're thinking of what they're proving differently.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Like the truth is, I think we both still agree that there's stuff that we don't understand.
There's definitely things that are extremely hard to be explained.
Absolutely, yes. Unless you're a completely closed-minded person, I don't think you can say like, no, this cannot be real, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he experienced this weird sensation. I do think it's possible. Like I said, it's a glitch in the matrix. Or he had some sort of weird brain fart, makes it all seem like this car was behind him and before him and stuff like that. Yeah. Because he felt something physical in his spine too. So I'm wondering if something just like popped there. Mm-hmm. With my mom with dementia, her reality changes all the time. And so, you know, like a 30-second episode of this to me is possible too.
So somebody asks him, so what was the second time you experienced? And if you can recall anything else, did it glitch at that time? And he says, the second time was roughly 2 to 3 weeks ago. It wasn't really remarkable. I was sitting at my office desk. The only thing I've noticed since then is the Sinead O'Connor death. I very much remember eulogies and tributes a few years ago, and I even remember them showing her ripping the picture of the Pope up on SNL. I very much remember her passing 2 or 3 years ago. So it's a definite Mandela effect since that time. I believe this one is still unfolding, maybe. And somebody else says, I swear I remember that she died as well. And I was like, wait, I thought she died a few years ago. I just assumed that I had her confused with someone else. But it's weird that other people here are saying, I also thought they died. Sinead O'Connor.
I remember her dying. Is she not dead?
No, she's alive. Weird. Is she alive? Did she just recently die?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it was like a few years ago that I heard that she
I don't know.
died.
I remember seeing her on TV a few years ago.
Yeah,
but,
July 2023 is when she died.
Oh, wow.
No.
Yeah. And people,
That is a bold-faced lie.
she apparently died at July 26th of 2023. When did Sinead O'Connor die?
Comment and tell us when you remember hearing that she died. I want to say it was at least like 3 or 4 years ago that I heard.
They
at
said,
least. Because this was, how long ago was this?
a year ago.
So a year ago, and they're saying
And
it was
he
a
believes
few
she died
years
a while ago.
They said, I very much remember eulogies and tributes a few years ago.
Yes. like
She
4 years
passed
ago,
away
essentially.
officially, actually, in this timeline, we'll call it, a year ago. And then this person says 2 or 3 years ago she passed away.
I want to say in my timeline, I want to say it was 4 years ago.
So which would line up with this other person's timeline.
I'll be honest. I thought she was dead for a long time. And then, like I said, a few years ago, she showed up on TV and I'm like, oh, she's still around. I guess I must have misheard. But I don't pay attention enough and I don't really have a good memory of time. So I would not be the right witness of that.
Well, I definitely have time blindness.
Yeah,
But
me too. Like, she's been alive for a nebulous amount of years. And I just found out now she's gone. And I hope she's in a better place. That's all.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think suss meter wise?
Ooh.
I mean, I don't think he's suspicious. I think he's being pretty real about his experience. It appears to me.
Yeah. I think the whole glitch in the Matrix thing is kind of, I don't know, I give side eye to that.
I would give that some side eye. I mean, there's definitely some unexplained things here that we don't understand.
Yeah.
The whole car coming around the corner would blow my mind.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think side eye is a good one for that one because we just have so many more questions. Yeah. I want to talk to this person. Like, I want this OP to see our podcast and then, like, you comment and tell us more. Like, I just want to know more.
All those questions that we have.
Is that song still have those 4 extra bars, or was it only that one time?
Or do you only remember it with the 4 less bars, but all your band buddies remember it with 4 extra ones?
Oh, somebody asks him, are the 4 extra beats still there? Maybe you've switched timelines. No, the extra 4 beats was a one-time thing.
There we go.
It's not like a Mandela effect that permanently changed the song. The instrumental breakdown is 16 measures. This day, there were 17. It has not been permanently changed. It was more like deja vu, sort of. It felt odd, out of place, clunky. For your information, the song was All the Small Things. And the extra 4 beats were added in the build-up to the final chorus.
I just think it's kind of cool that it was Blink 182, like you blink and all of a sudden, boof.
I know.
You know?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Say it ain't so. I will not go.
Yeah.
Somebody else has commented, there's a thing called Kundalini.
Oh, the Kundalini.
Yeah, basically, it's a term for a spiritual energy or the life force located at the base of the spine, conceptualized as a coiled up serpent. The practice of Kundalini yoga is supposed to arouse the sleeping Kundalini Shakti from its coiled base through 6 chakras and penetrate the 7th chakra or crown. And this guy says the spine thing could be the Kundalini energy. I think it's considered safe if it does it on its own, but when you force it, it could cause mental instability. We'll have energy coiled up at the base of our spine, and it can go up to our head or higher chakras, causing sights, sound, psychic experiences. I think mine has been awkward since I was a kid. Interesting.
That is such a cool story. I like that.
Yeah.
I like things that just make you go, If any of us were him and we saw the car behind, and then we saw the car coming, and you're like, no.
I'd be so confused. I
Just
would
no.
be confused. And I'd be like, am I a wizard?
Yeah, exactly.
Am I a wizard?
Yeah.
I love that you attribute all this movement to yourself. I moved to that car.
Yes, right.
No, I would be like, I predicted that Jeep. I saw it behind me, but really it was in front of me the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm a wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
There you go.
I love it.
Well, I guess we're going with side eye. Moving on. Who's the next storyteller?
It is me.
Oh.
Okay, so this happened in Detroit.
Michigan.
Yeah,
I'm proud of myself for knowing that.
I'm proud of you too.
I'm bad at geography.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also not great.
I mean, I'm not great either. I couldn't find Detroit, Michigan.
I could point randomly on a map and maybe get it wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, so in Detroit, this is earlier this year, Portia Woodruff was getting her 2 daughters ready for school when 6 officers knocked on her door. "Step outside. You're under arrest for robbery and carjacking," they commanded her. Stunned, she looked down at her 8-month pregnant belly, trying to grasp how anyone would suspect her of such a crime. Handcuffed to her doorstep, tears streamed down her face, and then Portia had to leave her crying children with her fiancé. She was taken to the Detroit Detention Center, where the nightmare continued. For 11 agonizing hours, she endured relentless questioning about a crime she knew nothing about, and her iPhone was seized as potential evidence. She said, "I was having contractions in the holding cell. Sharp pains shot through my back and spasms racked my body. I think I was probably having a panic attack." She was unprepared for the harsh, cold reality of the detention center's concrete benches.
Yeah, that would be so uncomfortable.
They left a pregnant lady.
11 hours.
Yeah.
11 hours. And she's how many months pregnant?
8.
I cannot.
She was formally charged with robbery and carjacking, and she was released on a $100,000 personal bond.
Oh my gosh.
She was rushed to the hospital then, where doctors diagnosed her with dehydration and administered IV fluids. A month later, right about the time she was having her baby, the charges were dropped, but the trauma lingered. So this ordeal began with a facial recognition search gone wrong. Portia became the 6th individual, all of them black, and the first woman to be falsely accused due to this technology.
Oh my God.
The implications were clear and terrifying. The technology has a pattern of misidentifying black individuals. A couple weeks before her arrest, on a Sunday night, a young man reported a robbery at a local liquor store. His story painted a grim picture. He had picked up a woman off the street earlier that day and invited her into his car. They drove to a nearby liquor store parking lot where they shared drinks and engaged in sex. They continued to a gas station, spending more time together. And then later, the woman asked to be dropped off at a location about 10 minutes away from the gas station. He drove to the spot, and they were met by a man who appeared to be waiting for her. As soon as he got out, the man pulled out a handgun and threatened him. In a matter of moments, the man seized the victim's wallet and phone, and then both the woman and the strange man fled in this guy's Chevy Malibu. Days later, a man driving the stolen vehicle was apprehended. And the woman actually returned the phone to the gas station. So surveillance footage was found. So they prompted a detective to run a facial recognition search on the unknown woman. And the system pointed to Portia, matching her to an old, low-quality mugshot from a minor incident in 2015 when she was pulled over for driving with an expired license. And was arrested. I don't know about you, but I've never met a white person arrested for driving with an expired license. So now she's got a mugshot on file. Astonishingly, the authorities only used this poor quality image instead of her much clearer and more recent driver's license photo. Rather than questioning Portia or investigating further, they took this outdated mugshot, which looks really different from what she looks like right now. You know, like mugshot, worst night of your life.
I look different from from 2015.
Yeah, and in the driver's license photo, she's wearing makeup, she's ready, you know, it's different. So they used this mugshot in a photo lineup and showed it to the victim. The victim identified her from the lineup. Remember, she looks similar enough that this facial recognition software picked her up.
Yeah.
And so she's the one that looks similar in this lineup. This sets off the chain of events leading to her arrest.
Did they not show her own photo for the person to identify her?
They didn't show her driver's license photo. It's this old mugshot photo.
Exactly.
The same one that the thing identified, but instead of asking her any questions or investigating, they just showed this guy, and then 6 detectives show up at her house.
Sorry, I was just wanting to clarify. They showed the witness.
The guy who got robbed. So he identified her from the lineup, and then they proceeded to arrest her. This isn't an isolated incident. This is the 6th person in Detroit that has been falsely arrested because of this.
That's 6 too many.
Yes. As Portia grappled with the fallout of all of this, her attorney emphasizes the broader implications. Facial recognition should just be an investigative tool.
Yeah.
If you get a hit, do your job and go further.
Yeah.
The technology's misuse has already led to multiple false arrests, and Portia's case underscored the urgent need for reform.
could they not tell that this person is 8 months pregnant versus a person who's running around like...
You're right. She's 8 months pregnant, living in a suburb versus like a street lady.
I mean, sometimes you can't see a pregnant belly. Can you not tell that on a surveillance video that this person is obviously not 8 months pregnant?
He was doing something with her before she got dropped off.
They spent like the day together and they had sex. So yes, I feel like there's a good chance.
So wouldn't he know if she was pregnant?
8 months?
Like 8 months. Like that's,
so
we're not
actually,
talking like 4 months or 6 months even.
Portia commented that she feels lucky because her advanced pregnancy likely played a role in the eventual realization she couldn't have done it because the man did not recall the woman being pregnant.
Yeah.
Remember, they just did this mugshot off her face at first.
Yeah.
So for the rest of her pregnancy, Portia was plagued by stress and fear because, you know,
what's gonna
1 month of
happen?
pregnancy, she had to return to the police station to retrieve her phone, and she had to attend 2 court hearings via Zoom. Her neighbors saw her arrested.
Her kids.
And her daughters were deeply affected, and they now tease her infant son that he was in jail even before he was born.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh no.
And the stigma for that.
Yeah. So what do you guys think?
It should just be used as an investigative tool.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how it could be very helpful. But I mean, AI, even if you punch in anything into AI, it is very good, but it is not infallible.
Just the lack of investigation. So you see this person's mugshot in a lineup. The person that she looks like in the mugshot is somebody who's like clearly just probably went out to grab something, was driving, her hair's pulled back, she's got no makeup on, she's looking unhappy because she's in a mugshot.
Yeah.
Versus the person in the driver's license photo, completely different. Like I wouldn't recognize them as the same person except for the eyebrows maybe. So he picks her out, but these cops don't investigate. They just send 6 people to immediately arrest her.
Yeah.
They have no idea of her background or her lifestyle.
Honestly, as soon as she opened the door and she's 8 months pregnant, they should have been like,
Well, she did. She's like, are you kidding me?
Technology can be wonderful, but it can also be extremely harmful.
Well, let's talk about how only Black people are being misidentified.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I think that's completely unfair and unjust.
That tells me that the AI has been fed a lot of other mostly white people's faces.
Yeah, me too.
Not,
and it can't recognize.
Just like everything is always based on a white man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So some of these guys, like it talks about some of the other lawsuits and one who didn't even have a lawsuit, but he had to spend thousands in lawyer fees proving his innocence, like the cost, your life disruption, all of it.
You gotta sue. She's gotta sue.
And she is. Good. She's suing now.
And so should the other 5.
But the bottom line is, I think that, you know, they've got this technology, and like the lawyer said, it's a tool for investigation. So it points the finger at her.
Check her alibi.
Question her. Like, and I don't mean arrest her and question her for 11 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, just go to her house and question her. Look at her lifestyle. Watch her for a while. 24 hours of surveillance would show her lifestyle.
Look at everybody's Ring camera that's on everybody's door in the suburbs and see if she's even left her house. Everybody now has cameras.
Yeah.
Everybody. Dash cams. There's cameras everywhere.
Pull up the other photo of her and say, let's show this guy, you know?
Even run that against the facial recognition, it probably wouldn't work.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were just all these other options. That's why I think the lawsuit is really deserved, is because there were a lot of other options before they did this to her.
Questioning her for 11 hours, that's ridiculous. Clearly she didn't do it. Like,
and the fact she had to go to the hospital after.
Yeah, that she spent 11 hours. I don't know how long they actually questioned her, but she spent 11 hours there.
They decide to make you wait.
Yeah.
They decide when you're...
Well, it's a tactic.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a tactic because they want you to crack.
They had no regard for her advanced pregnancy status at all. Dehydrated and needed...
Two IV bags.
Yeah, that's extreme.
And she also, from the photos I've seen of her, does not look like someone you would pick up off the streets. The way she presents, the way she dresses herself, not that person. So I would assume as well, the way she speaks, the way she acts, not that person.
A lot of times police can be assholes to others, especially if they are that convicted that she did it.
Or they just want to get it done with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what an easy tool to use.
Let's talk about the fact that she was pulled over for driving with an expired license and then arrested.
I've had an expired license, didn't realize it. I went to a traffic stop. They're like, oh, hey, your license has been expired for 3 months. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, people don't remember that. It's not like their everyday life.
That's not going to cause them to have you step out of the car, search it, do anything.
No, social profiling all the way. Yeah. It's a terrible situation that people have to still deal with that. I cannot condone that at all. Like the racial profiling. Isn't that everybody's innocent until proven guilty? That's not the case in those situations.
No, she's treated as she's guilty.
It's so sad. My partner, he says as a joke, but it is something that he truly believes. He said the best thing I can pass on to my children is that they will be half white because he's Asian.
Yeah.
And that's what he always says. That's the best thing. And he says it as a joke, but it's serious to him.
But we've heard stories about how like he and his friends go places and they're ID'd and they're heavily checked, and you and I walk in and nothing happens, you know?
Yeah, and even during the pandemic times, people were very racist
against
in
Asians.
Our area against Asian community, and to the point where one of our friends' fathers was verbally abused in a store
for apparently starting COVID
by a security guard.
Wow.
Oh my God.
It's terrible out there for other people. I feel so fortunate, but also I feel so terrible that I can literally not understand fully what other people have to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish I could fix it. You know, I wish I could stop that from happening. And, you know, there have been times when I've said a joke when I shouldn't, or laughed at something I shouldn't because I felt awkward. And I've just decided that I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be part of the solution and not joke
part of the problem.
Part of the problem.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about sus level.
I want to put it at what the sus. There's multiple lives involved here.
And even future lives. We're not just talking about this one story, really. We're talking about this as a whole. There's already 5 women that this technology has falsely
5
accused.
people.
6 people, only black people, and she's the first woman.
Either way, this technology needs some work.
It needs that human aspect.
It does.
Honestly, why are you using it if it's getting it wrong that often?
Yeah.
They said they do about 150 a year. So I don't know how many they get wrong. I think it's a good starting point for investigation. Like it points a finger at a person and you could be like, okay, let's watch this person. Let's talk to them politely in their living room.
Yeah. And like
You know?
ask them where they were when the crime took place first. Because
real police work here.
Do the legwork, and then if this person clearly isn't the person, then you move on to the next.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I bet any real detective worth their salt would knock on her door, walk into her living room, have a conversation with her, see her family, find out about their income level, and be like, she's not the person. She's not the one who's walking the streets.
Stealing somebody's Chevy Malibu.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has no associations with this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not infallible. AI is not infallible.
No, you're right. These guys are taking shortcuts. And when it comes to systematic racism, absolutely what the sus.
What the sus for sure, because it's unacceptable.
Yeah. What the sus? What the sus? There we go.
Third story of our day.
Yes.
So this is from the subreddit True Off My Chest. And this was just from 5 days ago. Ooh. So it's a newbie. My boyfriend and I, both 29, have been together for 2 years now. Before that, we were both married and got cheated on by our spouses. We were introduced to each other through mutual friends and thought we would get along since we went through the same thing. I have told everyone us meeting that night that was the greatest blessing because he came into my life at a very dark point. In the past 2 years, we moved to a new town, started new jobs, and bought a house. I travel for work, and he works 90 hours a week, so we both have no desire to have kids. I have a brother, 31 male, who has been with a woman since 2020. They were supposed to get married, but called it off in 2022. Since then, they have been on-off together and really don't have a great relationship. That was until November, when his girlfriend found out that she was pregnant and they decided to get serious. They bought a house and have been going to couples therapy. Their relationship seems to be working out now since they've had their baby. They decided to host a 4th of July party at their house. I attended with my boyfriend. I spent most of the night helping with cooking and helping with my brother's girlfriend set up and watching my niece. Like every 4th of July party, there's people getting way too drunk and starting to act up. Once mostly everyone had left, my boyfriend and me, my brother and his girlfriend, and a couple friends were sitting by the fire and having a few drinks. My boyfriend had a few too many drinks and was starting to act drunk. He started telling random stories, and after a few random stories, he says, brother's girlfriend's name. Remember when we used to hook up last year?
What?
Oh my
What?
God.
What?
So that baby's his.
This is not what I was thinking it was going at all.
I thought him and the brother were gonna be a couple.
No, I thought he was going to be like, I wish we had a baby.
No, I thought him and the brother were hooking up.
Oh my gosh.
The story
oh my
could have had
gosh.
so many endings.
Right? Oh my gosh.
In other timelines, maybe.
My brother's girlfriend looks at him in shock, then
gosh.
starts apologizing to me. I just sat there in silence before leaving. Immediately after, I got texts from his girlfriend, my boyfriend, and brother, all trying to fix things
Ah,
and saying,
Do they all know?
they all knew, including the brother?
What?
Isn't the brother with the
fuck?
girlfriend?
I know. So, yes. So all three of them, the girlfriend, her boyfriend, and the brother, all trying to fix things, saying he didn't mean to tell me.
Well, but that doesn't
Okay.
actually fix it. That doesn't change what happened.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tell you that. Like,
Can you just forget it
life-altering-
now?
Yeah.
His girlfriend texts me the story and says that they hooked up for a couple of months
Oh my
while
God.
I was working in another state.
Oh, it's okay then. You know
So
what?
they were in a committed relationship, but these guys were hooking up.
No, but it's okay. It's all good.
Wow.
That's okay. You know, that's normal.
I haven't replied to anyone's texts.
No.
Just spent the morning packing all my stuff from the house and leaving with my car and the truck I bought for him. I
Good,
already feel so much happier knowing what he did to me and now that he's gone.
And now also, I'm so glad you're down a brother. Like, what? What the?
So I just want to figure this out.
Yeah.
The brother, it's his girlfriend that's pregnant. It's her brother
no, the
and
niece
his girlfriend.
The niece is here.
And so his girlfriend that's pregnant, possibly with this baby, the brother knew that his girlfriend was hooking up with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
He knew the whole time. But then I guess they were on again, off again.
That's right. So maybe it was during a time when they were broken
I'm
up.
sorry.
But the brother knows because the brother was texting,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
trying to like
Make it right.
Make it right.
But now there's some paternity questions too. Okay.
Holy shit.
Is there more to this story?
So there's no updates.
How could you do that to us?
I know. I'm so sorry.
I don't think she's even dealt with the possible paternity question.
That is definitely in the comments. She
Yeah.
has
Yes.
definitely been told that. So terrible.
Yeah. So
Oh
what
my
do we think
God.
first before I read some comments?
Glad she took the truck too.
Yeah.
Because all these women end up getting screwed over and like losing the money they put into the house, like
Yeah.
on a previous episode.
Yeah.
Glad they have no kids.
If I found out that my sibling has a child who I think is my niece, but has possibly been my partner's child the whole time.
Found out she was pregnant in November and she's had the baby. So I guess she was pregnant for a little while before November.
Yeah, well,
And
this
last
woman was
year-
gone. And so they all know, because he might be co-parenting or something at this point. You never know. He might be helping them financially.
Like in
you
the
don't
brothers,
know.
The brother's just like, yeah, that's probably my kid, I think. Like, level of Delulu of those three people is astronomical to
They
me.
didn't mean to tell you. We're sorry.
Shit, sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Like, it's not like it's a fucking surprise party.
Well, more than that, like, usually that's your deepest, darkest secret. You don't just blurt out, like, hey, remember when we used to hook up last year?
That was definitely guilt. Guilt all the way.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, for sure.
Interesting.
Self-sabotage, absolutely.
Yeah. Or maybe like the universe is speaking through their drunk self.
I think it is guilt. A thing like that has to be eating that person alive.
I mean,
would think
especially
so.
that baby's like right there.
That's
and you're
right.
like, that could possibly be my kid. Imagine every single time OP is, oh, my baby niece. I talk about my nieces all the time.
Yeah.
And that every time
Yeah.
he's probably like, that could be my kid. That could be my kid.
Or
That could be
just when it's mentioned, that shot of guilt. That shot of
that
guilt.
shot of guilt.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or
every
like,
single time.
that could be my kid. Like
Yeah.
just
Wow.
that flash. You can think that in a second.
Yeah. Okay. Let's hear some comment.
First comment. I'm sorry. That's so fucked. Especially that even your brother didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you talked to anyone since? Solid question. I can't believe all three of them were able to keep this a secret. This is actually insane. I would never speak to these people again. They set you up for a lifetime of trust issues. And then somebody says, I would definitely be mourning the loss of my sibling because I don't see any outcome here in which they wouldn't be dead to me.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Like,
No.
I would be so betrayed.
It would take a lot of years of like family therapy.
Starting with him. He can do a lot of family therapy.
Yes.
And then when he comes back with the right apology that shows he knows how badly he's done,
Yeah.
then maybe I'll start the therapy.
And you just know that in this world, the grandparents would be like not on this person's side because it's Reddit. And they'd be like, your brother didn't mean to.
Oh my gosh, he didn't mean to.
If I had a kid that did that, and then to my other kid, I'd be like, somebody's getting cut off, and it is not OP.
That's a tough one because if you're the parents, you still want to see your grandkid.
Is it your grandkid?
Well, you don't know. He's raising it like a grandkid, so...
They've just decided to do this weird throuple thing and not tell OP, I guess.
There was a good comment. They let it slip so easily, and murderers can keep a secret better than these people could.
That's true. And it
Right?
wasn't just them. They said they were having drinks with a few people. So this
There's-
came
yeah,
out.
it wasn't just
This
the
came
four of
out
them.
in front of others.
Do you
This was
remember when we
friends.
used to hook up that last year? Yeah, remember that movie we watched? Oh, shit. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
like
my
just
God.
blew up their entire friend group.
I gotta be honest, though. If
Yes.
I was in that situation, that would definitely be how other people would find out. I would definitely be that stupid idiot that would say it accidentally, and so would you.
I absolutely would. I wouldn't even mean to. I wouldn't
No.
even known that I'd said it
Yes.
until later. I've revealed birthdays, surprises, without even realizing I've done it until someone's like, "What?"
You know, in that birthday chat for this person about the
I did that
birthday
to you.
I know. She said so they were planning a pirate birthday for me, like a pirate themed birthday for me. In the pirate birthday chat for April, where we talked about blah blah blah, and then the person who she was talking to.
It was you. I said it to you.
No, there was 3 of us there,
Oh.
and the other person's eyes went like super wide and was like, "Don't do that. Don't say anymore."
Yeah.
And then I just was like, "In the what? Who? In the what?
And I was like, "Shit, shit."
In the what birthday chat?" And yeah, it was so good. And that is
not the only time.
That is not the only time. And that is also
It's not the only time.
That is-
like I actually cannot. I can't know them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, this one time, so I was dating this guy, and this guy's uncle had 2 girlfriends. One was a long-term girlfriend, and they were kind of on and off. And he was also on and off with this other girl, but they knew about
But
each
sometimes
other.
they overlapped.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. He did not commit to either of them, and he was
Yeah.
very clear that he was not committing to either of them.
Wow.
But they would both get upset about the other person. And so I had just recently been introduced, forgot who people were because they both had blonde hair. And I met one, and they both felt like they were, I don't know, the most important, you know?
Of course.
And so when I met them, I was like, oh, right, I think I met you the other day. And my boyfriend and the uncle are behind, and they were like, don't say any more. And I was like, huh? What? No. Don't you, maybe your hair was styled differently. Did I not meet you? And then I was like, you know what? I have just met a lot of people in my boyfriend's family lately. And maybe
Ouch.
it was someone else. I don't
Shoot.
know.
You're just digging
Anyway,
yourself.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Bye. Like, I
Yeah.
just left, and I was like, I am so sorry.
Digging a hole deeper.
I didn't irreparably damage anything.
These 2 women were obviously willing to live with the situation because neither of them
they were
left
just
him.
they were just
So
unhappy.
They
with
could
it.
be
Yeah,
angry all they want, but it's not like it's news to them.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
it was just like, oops. So yeah, I would be that person too that would accidentally out it.
Accidentally, though.
Oh yeah, accidentally. I think this person probably did it accidentally as well.
Out of guilt.
I mean, alcohol makes you do strange things. Where are we landing on sus meter for this story?
I think it's pretty sketchy. I would say pretty sketchy because it was last year and when they were hooking up, and they were never going to tell OP, and all three of them knew. And that's like such a level of betrayal that's insane.
I would put it sketchy to major sus for that, and the fact that this little girl is going to be screwed up.
Yes. I think that's the kicker for me. I think that's where it hits the minor side of the majorly sus, I find, because there's a baby involved.
Mm-hmm.
And because they were hooking up last year, she found out she was pregnant in November of last year, and it's July, and she's had the baby already.
Yeah.
I guess I was hoping that they would figure that shit out now.
Well, maybe they have, and they just weren't telling either. She said he didn't want kids, but maybe at some point he's going to feel responsible to find out, or he's going to want to find out.
This is the time to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Now, there's no reason to not do it other than if you decide, nope, the brother is the dad, and we're never going to find out, and decide to do that, which I also don't think is a correct thing.
Which is really sad, because if her ex is her niece's father, he'll never be completely out of her life.
I think that they should know for sure and then make that decision. Are you going to be the father, or is the brother?
Yeah.
And if the brother is, then you just officially sign over rights.
It's never that simple, though, and we know that because at some point this guy might change his mind, or these two might break up, and then they don't come through.
Yeah, I guess it's more like you officially adopt, you officially go through the official channels, and you do it as an adult's way as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if the official father decides, I don't want kids and I don't want to do this, then you do have the rights signed over, or like the rights
you can
waived.
give that,
the rights waived.
Yeah, that child up for adoption. Yeah.
And the other person can officially adopt after that happens. I just think it would just be better to have that piece of paper. Just like whenever you're splitting up from somebody, it is way better, even if you're cordial, even if you're communicating well when you break up and you have kids, always go and get an agreement, a separation agreement, a custody agreement, whatever you guys officially decide on, and get it on paper, because when shit happens, then what you fall back on is that piece of paper, and you may never need to use it, and you don't have to go by that, but then you can. So if he is, I think they should get that figured out.
They need to get it figured out, because it's just too scandalous to not know the truth in that situation. Because I was like you guys when I was reading the story, like I thought maybe the brother and the boyfriend. I did not see it going that route. I am very curious to know what our viewers think of this story. I do hope that there's an update soon, because there are thousands of comments.
Yeah, I just feel bad that like literally at this moment OP is dealing with such upheaval in her life, and I feel terrible for her for that. Yeah. And right now, all four of them, are figuring out what to do from here. I hope they make the right decisions going forward. Let's just send positive energies, whatever you want to do, to them for going the right path.
To OP and the kid.
The child,
Like those two are the ones that like we're sending all of the
Make
good
the right
energy
decisions
vibes.
Make the right decision for the kid.
Make the right decisions.
Yeah.
The hard decision, please. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Also, remember to hit that subscribe.
Yeah. You can find us basically everywhere. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. And nowhere at the same time.
That's so very sus.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Set us up there real good. Anyway, until next time, be curious.
Seek the truth.
But stay suspicious.